Alright, what's up guys? So disclaimer, this is a long video with nothing interesting and it's just me talking, but people will probably watch it and want to argue with me about it. So yeah, this is some interesting stuff I threw together waiting at the DMV today, a little spreadsheet. Starting at the top, you can see the price of the two bikes. If the price in the XMR is wrong, let me know. That's what I got from reading on forums and stuff with Can-Am's destination fee and all their other bullshit fees. So this is like the common problems you're gonna have to upgrade on a Can-Am and on the 850. So the rear diff fix, people say the XMR diffs, the new ones are bulletproof. That's false. I've seen two explode right in front of me, and I have one of them on camera. My buddy is currently doing a Maverick swap with the CFAB brackets, a Maverick diff, and yeah, and the drive shaft. It's about 1,600 bucks, and quite a lot of work, and voids all kinds of warranty, but whatever. Another option you could do would be to get a Mud and Wheels built XMR diff. They're 900 bucks. But the Maverick one is known to be stronger. So that's 600 bucks. The Highlifter 850, the rear diff has no known issues, so it's good to go. Front locker, Can-Am has a Visco lock known as Crisco lock. So if you want a true front locker that engages at low wheel speed, i.e. before you're stuck, $1,200 for a Halo locker. The 850 comes with an auto locker that works great from the factory, so no money to spend there. The front diff fix, the XMR 850 has a front diff drive shaft issue that people are having them strip out and stuff, but and some people do break the diff, as in that video I posted a couple days ago. But there's no really known, so it's a question mark. The Polaris 850, the 2016s, they have problems with the front pinion plate shattering. There's an upgraded billet plate for it, 140 bucks. Or if you get a 17 or you buy the part for a 17, it comes with a different pinion gear, which has a beefier, the shaft itself's bigger, comes with a bigger bearing and a much stronger pinion plate. That comes on the 17. Someone was cool enough to post a picture of that on the Mud Puppy page. You'll see a picture of it included now. Okay, edit it. Boom, it's there. Okay, so you got a picture of that. Overheat fix. An XMR 850, even though it's a radiator relocate, will overheat from the factory. So you need to do the bypass delete because it recirculates its own coolant and it's really stupid. Get rid of the thermostat, which makes your bike warm up really slowly. But whatever. 95 bucks. The Highlifter 850 has a huge radiator, dual fans, doesn't overheat. Good to go. 295 LL2s because the 30-inch silverbacks on an XMR are about 28s and they're really skinny and they only ride on the very center of the tire. They're a shitty tire in every situation, mud, ice, whatever. So you're going to want to put some real tires on there. So 900 bucks. But the Highlifter comes stock with those, so it's good to go. That's what GTG means. Arched arms. The Highlifter comes out with that stock. Obviously, the Can-Am doesn't. So 190 bucks for Super ATV arched arms. Dual rear brakes. There's no kit for it that I could find, but you probably want to do that eventually. It helps with braking and stuff like that, and not putting stress on your axles when you nail the rear brakes on a wheelie and making not turn into circle. And well, the Highlifter has that stock because it's a a quality machine. 3K winch. So this is one place the XMR wins. It comes with a 3K Warren, which is geared too high. It's a very fast winch, and I've seen several of them burn up. You can throw a 3500 Harbor Freight winch, which is geared lower and a better winch in my mind, the Badlands 3500, on the 850 for about 200 bucks, with the 20% off coupon for Harbor Freight. Clutch fix, 1,700 bucks. That's because you're going to need a QSC primary and an STM secondary, and you're going to need to get them tuned, and you're going to need a Maverick belt to make the XMR 850's belt drive reliable with some heavy outlaws on it. It does okay with the stock 30s, but it's still geared pretty high. You don't need a clutch kit or any kind of clutch changes on the 850 because it's geared low enough to work fine the way they sell it. So that saves you much money there. So you can see the total to get the Can-Am ready to go, $18,685, and the Highlifter 9,500 essentially. And keep in mind, after you do all this, the Can-Am will still have a smaller radiator. It'll have taller gears. It'll be heavier, especially with the Maverick swap. It'll have less ground clearance with the Maverick swap. Same horsepower. It'll run hotter, and it'll feel hotter because of the radiator design. And you voided the shit out of your warranty because your entire bike is now pretty much aftermarket except for the lovely Rotex engine, which is the only thing that's worth a crap on a Can-Am. People will say, "Oh, but the Can-Am has bumpers and looks good." Those bumpers are great. Yeah, they're garbage. They're really flimsy. I've seen them bend like crazy. If you look at the end caps on the Can-Am XMR bumpers, it's a little piece of stamped steel with a piece of plastic stuck on the side of it. Super chintzy, very Walmart quality. But Polaris has plenty of Walmart quality feeling things too. Don't get me wrong. And someone says, "Oh, they all break." Well, let's think about this. They do all break. But if you you get water in your ECU on your Can-Am, 950 bucks. I paid a little more than that. They've gone down a couple bucks since I bought mine. If you get water in your ECU on your Polaris, which you won't, but it's only 360 bucks. If you blow your rear diff on your Can-Am, 900 bucks because you're going to want to at least get a mud and wheels, right? I think it's like 750 or something if you don't. Blow the rear diff on the Polaris, not as likely, but it's only 524. My point is, if you look at all these numbers, the Polaris is significantly cheaper for the same horsepower. Yes, they're both going to have problems. No doubt about it. Polaris has used to have tons of wiring issues and stuff like that. They've come a long way, but they're still not perfect. But at least Polaris is selling you a cheap bike for a cheap price. You're going to spend twice as much setting the Can-Am up, and you're going to have more problems. That's my problem with Can-Am is like Can-Am and Polaris are both junk compared to Honda. I don't care who you are. If you ride all three of those bikes back to back, the Honda is not going to squeak. It's going to take more abuse. It's a quality product. Yes, it's slow, but it is built better. The Polaris is going to have issues. The Can-Am is going to have issues, but one of them costs twice as much to buy and twice as much to fix. You get catch my drift? And it's like, oh, you're just cheap and you don't want it. You can't afford a Can-Am. Okay, bullshit. I've got a $40,000 Lexus and I've got a $20,000 Razor. I could build whatever Can-Am I wanted. Um, the point is, Can-Ams are not good value for money. A smart, reasonable person does not spend twice as much money to build something that's not going to be as good as something that's half as much money. You would take that extra money and go find something fun to do with it. So yeah, that's my problem with Can-Ams. They're expensive junk. Polarises are cheap junk. The 850 and the 1000 for that matter are an excellent deal for all the kit you're getting. The arched arms, the beefy shocks, the everything about it. Polaris does all kinds of awesome stuff. Locates the battery as far forward as they can for weight distribution. The voltage regulator is as far forward and high up. The fuse box is as far forward and high as you can. Keep everything out of the water. Huge snorkels. I mean, you're getting a ton of engineering and a ton of awesome upgrades you'd have to do to a stock bike for less than 10 grand. I mean, it's a great deal. You can't get a Rubicon bone stock for 7,500, which has no power and no tires and all that stuff. And I mean, I'm not saying the Honda's not a great deal either. The Rubicon is a great deal for $7,500. You can ride this shit out of it forever and never repair anything on it. But it's for a different type of thing, right? It's not for blasting through holes at 90 miles an hour. It's for creeping and crawling. And a lot of stuff it's going to be more capable because it's lighter and it's more maneuverable, and your body language has a better effect on the bike because of its rotational inertia and it's smaller and compact, whatever. But the point is, Can-Am is expensive junk. Polaris is cheap junk, and everyone's going to try to argue with me. But if you comment like everyone does, you're a fag or f you or whatever, I'm just going to delete that. If you can comment and talk all the shit you want, but at least provide at least one somewhat relevant fact or point or something in your argument. Otherwise, you're not contributing to the discussion. You're just being ignorant, and yeah, that's very annoying. But bring on all of the hate, you Can-Am guys. I've been really enjoying it over the past few days because a couple of my bikes are in storage, so this is going to be in my entertainment for a little while. But it is very quality entertainment, making you guys triggered snowflakes.